Hey guys, this is IX with Rollout Reviews, bringing you another Crash B-Daman review. This time it is Mach Garuda, the upgrade of Blitz Garuda, and my first ever Synchro weapon system Crash B-Daman. So let's set all of this over here and take a quick look at the packaging. On the front, you have a product image with the stickers applied, his user down below, and it is number 28 in the line. Some stuff up there, some stuff over here, some stuff back there, and some stuff over here. This is a Rush type B-Daman. Inside, you're going to get one standard B-Dama, an extra spring, which is actually very different from the spring we've seen on other Crash B-Daman, a bit more traditional. You actually get an extra tiny little roller here, which is thoughtful. And the sticker sheet. Now, if you saw my Let's Build for this guy, I got a little lucky and got 2 sticker sheets. Apparently, this is not a thing that should happen, but there is an off chance that it might, so that is kind of neat. Feel free to apply those if you would like. Anyway, let's take a look at each of this guy's parts individually, put them together, and see what he's worth. Mach Garuda's core frame is very similar to Blitz Garuda's. However, this time, he is back in black. He does have different arm parts and has different hold parts, but the main frame itself is exactly the same. So you can see the shoulder pieces are molded slightly differently and have this little added detail up top. If we bring down the helmets, you can see there's a slightly different printed detail, however, the same basic symbol is present. And he's got different foot armor. The hold parts on the inside are exactly the same on the sides, however, there is an extra roller at the bottom, so hopefully that'll help a little bit. The Synchro weapon system trigger grip is a welcome change from the boring and repetitive trigger grip used on all of the other Crash B-Daman that I own. It has this customizable and interchangeable piece at the back that is unique to the B-Daman on hand. In Mach Garuda's case here, you have one that sort of looks like a magazine clip on the end of a pistol. That'll just slide on here like that and does wonders for differentiating these guys from each other. Now you have the normal Crash B-Daman trigger here, very similar to a gun, but you also have a more traditional B-Daman push trigger at the back. In Mach Garuda's case, it's elongated and has a trigger pad on the end. However, that does mean for switching this clip for attaching magazines from one side to the other, you have to pull this off. It just attaches pretty easily, push it forward, and move this upward. The extra step can be a little bit tedious, and if you have it upward, it can get in the way of the trigger itself, but I guess it's not too difficult to do. Now you also have this hook on the end here for supporting Synchro weapons. Now I think the reasoning for the second trigger here is to further support that. The leverage from the standard trigger was just not strong enough to sort of activate 2 mechanisms at the same time. It works pretty much exactly the same without a Synchro weapon. Pushing this and pushing this backward pushes that forward and launches the B-Dama. Now there is a little gap here, and it's great for maintenance because you can see the spring inside there and make sure all is functioning well. However, the little clip that attaches it to the B-Daman, if that's backwards, it'll get in the way of that hook, and if you push too hard, I do feel that you will break it. So definitely be careful with that. The barrel part is also wildly different from Blitz Garuda's, being much, much shorter, and also having these rollers on either side. This is a really neat idea, and definitely something I wish they would have reintroduced with the Crossfight B-Daman line. A rapid-fire type barrel tune-up gear that has rollers on the inside to lower resistance as a marble is shot through it. I think that would have been really cool, and is kind of a wasted opportunity. The nubs on the end here aren't really any smaller than its predecessor, so that's a little worrying, but hopefully it won't make the B-Daman too powerful. Despite the SWS system's differentiation from the standard, putting it together is still exactly the same. Simple as that. And here is Mach Garuda all put together. It's got the Mach core, and drive Garu burn. He's a Garuda. You know, I did a joke like this in my Excel Leon review, and I probably should have learned from my mistakes. Okay, here is the actual Mach Garuda, and I have to say, he's really impressive looking. In my opinion, definitely more striking than the original, what with the black added to the color scheme and the unique molded parts. But now it is time for the moment of truth. Let's see if this can actually perform as a rush type rather than a masquerading power type like its predecessor. First power test, 2.77. And the second power test, 2.45. It's still got a little bit of punch behind it, and that's only necessary being a Crash Beat-em-on. They need enough power to knock over a Crash Tower. However, it's much more in the realm of acceptability, much better than Blitz Garuda's Power Shot. Just listen to that sound. Honestly, I think the majority of the problem doesn't lie with the actual power of the shot, and rather the resistance that this barrel makes. Whereas this Beat-em-on is much better with maintaining that. Very, very smooth, very easy to fire, and like I said, much, much better. Which is interesting, because like I said, those little pegs are just about the exact same size as the ones on this barrel. However, those rollers on the inside there, and the extra roller on the bottom of the core must do something to make this guy just a much better rush type. Let's attach a magazine to him. Yeah, he's really, really good. And you have a couple options with him as well. You can, fire using this, you can fire using a combination, or you can just straight up push this back piece, which is very, very good for, like I said, those rush maneuvers. In the end, it goes without saying that Mach Garuda is so much better than Blitz Garuda in just about every way. An actual rush type. That said, I don't have any other Synchro weapon system Beat-em-on to compare this to, so in that respect, I'm not sure how good he is. But by comparing this guy to all of my other Crash Beat-em-on, I can tell that the SWS is a much improved system. Especially when you factor in the compatibility with the Synchro weapons, which I'll get much further into in the Beat Launcher review. Now, Mach Garuda is probably the easiest SWS Beat-em-on you can find, and in that respect, I'd say he is highly recommended. If you can pick him up, then definitely do. But all of the other SWS Beat-em-on can be quite elusive. I'll try my best to track them down, but until then, this is IXRoll@IX, signing off. Incidentally, the color coordination on this combination is phenomenal. really makes you wonder.